We also have a very wrong mindset that after class 10, most of the parents or students feel that they should take sciences and there is no future with humanities.
So, ma'am, based on your experience, how do APs, IB boards, and other standardized curricula complement credit transfer opportunities?
That in a UPI model, whatever you are studying locally. The credits are being transferred to a partner university abroad. Unlike an IB or an AP, where your exam performance is what is going to give you a credit. Here, your credits are evaluated and recommended by the National College Credit Recommendation Services, right? And also by American Council of Education.
Okay, so now, ma'am, I'll move towards my next question, and that is that UPI model aims to provide a structured yet flexible study pathway, right?
Right,
So,
right.
how does it compare with other well-established credit transfer systems?
It's how you interact with people, how you do your presentation skills, how you're able to forge friendships, how you're able to get yourself in internships. So, communication from that perspective is everywhere. And I think we should start working on our communication skills much, much earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I am going abroad, I need to be good in communication. No, I think we need to work on communication skills at every level.
Mm-hmm.
It starts right when you step into this world. Because if you don't communicate, nobody listens to you, right?
Definitely.
And everybody in this world wants their voice to be heard. So, how do I make people hear me? I can only make people hear me, or even better, listen to me when I am able to communicate well.
Definitely.
That is why I think communication is very important.
Yeah,
And
I've
yeah, please go ahead.
no, please say.
No, you say something. You were saying something.
Yeah. So I was saying that I think to every problem, not every problem exactly, but to a lot of problems, communication is the key. If you will communicate with a person to anyone, your
Right.
issues can get like quickly resolved.
Absolutely, Satakshi. And I think, clarity, persuasion,
Yeah.
clarity of thought, conviction of purpose, and ability to persuade is what communication is all about.
Yeah.
See, I need not have a very, very refined vocabulary to state my point of view, but I need to be clear in what I say. And I need to be convinced in what I'm trying to say.
Mhm.
And if you're able to do that, then I think you have made that person come around, right?
Definitely. I'm very clear on this answer. Now I'll move towards my next question, and that is a slight different from this one. But it is that many students worry about employability when choosing humanities, right? So, what advice would you give them?
Um, I think, it's the mindset, right? Having been in this profession for 32 years, I'm very pained to say that many kids say this to me that I have taken sciences because I was told to take science, right? Um, I do not buy this argument that only STEM courses make you successful in life, right? We also have a very wrong mindset that after class 10, most of the parents or students feel that they should take sciences and there is no future with humanities. I don't agree at all. I think humanities is probably a very, very important discipline because I feel humanity makes you more humane, right? And we are going in a world. See, humanity, I think, teaches you to have critical thinking. Humanity teaches you to do problem solving. Humanity gives you those skills which are very important in today's dynamic world, right?
Yeah.
I've had students, who've studied English literature. Like many people would say, oh, English, why English as a career or why political science as a degree. I would say I have students who have studied English literature and have done very well in advertising, they have done well in content strategy, they have become content writers, they have done public relations, they're getting into AI ethics also.
Yeah.
See, an economist today is probably doing and studying as I would say as rigorously as probably an IT professional,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And I am very pleased to actually share with you that one of my nephews who's studying in Princeton. So he picked up AI as his major, and he picked up psychology as his minor. And in many of the institutes and many of the universities abroad, philosophy and psychology are becoming as very important subjects along with the STEM courses. And that is why
Hmm.
we talk about STEAM today, right? So STEAM courses are the amalgamation of the two is also becoming very important. And having said
Yeah.
that, I would say that choose humanities because you love studying humanities, right? And do
Yeah.
not think that just because you've chosen humanities, you don't have a career ahead. You could do so
Definitely.
many things with humanities, but just see to it that you have got the relevant skills in today's world, because it's the skills which is going to make you a successful, happy individual who is making a mark in the industry of careers and not just the subjects.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I totally believe that, ma'am. So now we'll move forward and we'll talk about bridging the skill gap since we were talking about skills. And also we'll discuss the role of schools. So on that part, my question will be that how can high school curriculums better integrate international study options to empower students?
I think it's a very important topic because if I look back in time, my days, I think none of the schools or teachers at that point were really bothered or gave us the kind of awareness for what kind of courses one should take. However, in today's world, I think probably change is the password of the day, Shatakshi,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Uh, if I had to call this world today, I would call it a changing, dynamic world where a career which is suited today may not be suited in the next probably 15 years to come, right?
yeah,
So in
definitely.
that kind of a world wherein, wherein we do not know what is going to be our future and what's going to be the next the important careers, I think in that kind of a time it's very important that we are making our children a kind of individuals who are not just adept in skills but are also able to be more resilient to this dynamic world, right? So how do I make my student resilient and dynamic? And that is by giving him knowledge and information. And what do you think the schools should do? I think all high schools in today's world should have a career counseling program wherein they are making children aware of maybe school exchange programs, maybe summer courses which happen in many universities both in India and abroad. We could, have dual enrollments. We could, with foreign universities, we could have study abroad experiences. We could have exchange programs. We should tell them about AP courses. See, generally people think that AP courses are confined only to IB schools. I don't agree with that. In any case, IB has a very rigorous curriculum. So even if they don't do AP courses, it works for them. But even if we are looking at CBSE schools, we could tell our students, we could inform them about these AP courses. And I think with that kind of a complementary thing which we give it to our kids, that along with their skills they're aware of all these exams also. I think, Satakshi, we are giving our children a kind of a platform wherein they can make an informed choice. See, if I'm aware, if I have all the information and knowledge, then I can make my choice.
Yeah,
But if as a school I'm not informing the child that these are the options available outside, then I think somewhere we're not doing our parts.
yeah, definitely. From your last answer, I really loved the point, and I want to repeat it because the ones who have missed this point maybe, that every school needs a counselor. Why? Because since I was a student to the students now, there's a lot of confusion, and a lot of students waste their years, sometimes 2 years even, and because they're not sure about the career. They have the skills, but they don't know that in which direction should they work. So I think that's a very important and very crucial thing to do. And now, ma'am, we'll talk about the future of credit transfers and UPI. So, ma'am, based on your experience, how do APs, IB boards, and other standardized curricula complement credit transfer opportunities?
See, if I look at AP and IB,
Mm-hmm.
AP and IB courses are very academically rigorous courses,
Mm-hmm.
and most of the universities um, accept their scores, right? So
Yeah.
many times, what would happen is that if you are an IB student, you will have an edge over somebody coming from another board in India.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, like I would give an example that if you are a student, IB student who has studied a higher level, an HL level of chemistry, then when you are going to the university, there is a possibility that your introductory course in chemistry for, let's suppose, a pre-med program will be considered, and you don't have to do that particular course because you've already done an IB, and in that
Mm-hmm.
HL chemistry you have scored a 7, right? Same would go for an IAP course also. That if
Okay.
you have taken a particular AP course, let's suppose I've taken a calculus AB, and I'm going for a STEM course wherein I have to do this introductory mathematics of calculus. I don't have to do that thing because I've already taken that course. So this works for these schools. Now let's suppose if I have a CBSE curriculum, then what do? Then I think in that case, probably a UPI model could work very well.
Mm-hmm.
Because in this case, certain amount of courses are being done by the student locally, right? And
Yeah.
because they are done locally, as a result of it, they could be transferred. The credits of these courses could be given to the universities because these credits are recognized by those by
Mm-hmm.
those institutes. So I think that works very well. And we have to also understand, Shadakshi, that in today's world, I think cost is very important. So with
Definitely.
UPI, I think the cost is taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
With the UPI model, flexibility is there, and yet it is structured. See, being a model which is flexible and structured is something which I think is very important, and that's what makes UPI very unique. And
Definitely.
apart from that, I would also like to say that in a UPI model, whatever you are studying locally. The credits are being transferred to a partner university abroad, right? Unlike an IB or an AP, where your exam performance is what is going to give you a credit. Here, your credits are evaluated and recommended by the National College Credit Recommendation Services, right? And also by American Council of Education. So, how then this is different? This is different because here you are not spending money, large amount of money, what you would have spent on an AP course, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Plus, all kinds of kids can participate in this,
Yeah.
right? It is something which hand holding is done, right? And at the
Yeah.
same time, it is at your pace. Plus, if I look at these courses, the attention span of the kids is becoming lesser and lesser these days. And these
Yeah.
courses are designed to keep that in mind. So I think it's a very good situation for the child because he is doing something what he wants to do
Yeah.
at a cost which is affordable, right? And also there is somebody who is hand holding him. So I think
Definitely.
hand holding really makes a difference. And like what we talked, Sitakshi, in the beginning, that it is very, you and I never got somebody to hand hold us, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Today we have somebody who is hand holding us. So I think that is what is needed today.
That will create a major difference.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, ma'am, I'll move towards my next question, and that is that UPI model aims to provide a structured yet flexible study pathway, right?
Right,
So,
right.
how does it compare with other well established credit transfer systems?
See, all credit transport systems are very good, right? Each has its own benefits. What I like about UPI is that it is able to preserve the academic rigor,
Hmm.
and yet at the same time, it reduces the financial costs. Now, if it is reducing the financial cost, it is opening more doors for more kids, and along with that, it is unlocking more opportunities for many kids. And
Yeah.
of course, it is not catering only to a certain strata of kids, right?
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
going to other kids as well.
Yeah. All right. What do you appreciate most about UPI's approach to providing access to international education?
What I appreciate about UPI's approach, and I've made a little acronym for it, and I call it PROUD. So
Okay.
P stands for preserving academic rigor, R stands for reducing financial cost, O stands for opening more doors, U stands for unlocking opportunities, and D stands for catering to diverse group of students. So my
Wow.
acronym becomes PROUD,
Yeah,
right?
that's great, ma'am.
So as I would always say that all credit systems, all credit transfers are good, but in this particular case, with UPI, I think cost is very effective. So that
Mhm.
makes it uh, a very beneficial model for many kids.
Great, great. How do you foresee credit transfer programs becoming a main route for students worldwide?
I think because it's going to become mainstream because many kids want to explore, right? So what is the mantra today? Explore, engage, empower, right? So
Yeah,
if in a system that I can have this kind of system, wherein I can study in my country, go to another country, have some international students there, collaborate with them, do different projects, probably, have a cultural exchange of ideas, exchange of knowledge. Why not?
yeah,
And on the top of it, if it's cost effective, then I think why shouldn't it become a mainstream route for many kids?
yeah, definitely. Um, the session was great. And now my last question from you is that what advice would you give students considering credit transfer options for their global careers?
I think the future is very exciting and dynamic, right?
Mhm.
And I see a world where international mobility and credit transfers will become very seamless, thanks to evolving global networks. Frameworks like we have an NEP policy of 2020 wherein we are talking about interdisciplinary subjects where you could be studying maybe physical education with economics, you could be studying physics with psychology,
Yeah,
and also, if you see global credit frameworks like process in Europe, students will have greater flexibility in designing their academic journeys. We are moving towards a future where a student could start a course in India, right? Take a semester in Canada, complete a specialization in Singapore, all while accumulating transferable credits,
wow, that
right? The flexibility will not only enhance learning but also expose students to diverse cultural perspectives. And I think it's going to make them global citizens. And I think that's what is the need of the hour to become global citizens. And with the rise of AI and micro crediting, personalized learning pathways can also be made, right? So I think it's time now that go explore the world, keep on upgrading your skills because today's generation is set to become global citizens of the world, to
Yeah,
make world
definitely.
a better place to live for each one of us, where we appreciate each other's perspectives, right? And there is
Yeah.
more, I would say, where there is more exchange of ideas, cultures, thoughts, to make a little haven of knowledge and
Definitely.
learning.
And that sort of creates a gateway to, right? These
Right.
courses. Yeah.
So it
All right.
creates gateway for them to go, and explore all these things. Yeah.
Great, ma'am. So, what an insightful conversation with Sonika, ma'am. Ma'am, thank you so much for sharing your expertise on credit transfers, global careers, and the power of communication. At AcadFly also, we are committed to making international education affordable and accessible, which we spoke about. So, if this is for the audience, that if you are exploring credit transfers or global study options, we are here to help. Follow CatFly for more expert insights. Subscribe for upcoming episodes. Reach out for personalized guidance. That's it for today. Keep aiming high and flying higher with the CatFly. See you in the next episode.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.